Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are standing out here in front of the horse trailer because I have purchased a item for my wife that should make life a little bit easier for her. So right now her horse trailer has a crank style jack on it, which is pretty much the common jack that you can find on just about any trailer. But I wanted to kind of make that a little bit easier for her. So we purchased this Ram electric trailer jack in the hopes that, you know, she can just come out here, push a button, raise and lower her horse trailer, and make it that much easier to hook onto her truck. So I ended up going with this Ram brand of trailer jack, just mainly because it is a brand that I have seen multiple times and was familiar with it. And a bunch of the other brands and stuff that you find on Amazon and places like that, I had no idea what they were. Plus they had a lot of really mixed reviews. And whenever I'm looking at reviews, I don't read the 5-star reviews. I look at the ones that people have trouble and then try to put together a common problem that all these people have had. And it seems like that the ones that was most commonly, or the most common problem that people were having was, they would just, in a year, they'd just tear up, and then the buttons didn't work anymore or something like that would happen to them. And it seemed common across several different brands, but I didn't see it as much on this particular brand. And also, some of the other ones, they would say after a short period of time, they'd be raising the jack and then it would just fall. Like I guess the bolt inside it or something would just break and then it would just fall to the ground. And they had issues there. So I tried to stay away from the brands that had that kind of stuff, and this Ram jack is what I kind of ended up with. Plus, like I say, it was a brand name that I did kind of recognize. So that's my story behind why I chose this and what I actually went with. The installation on this looks to be pretty simple. It actually did not come with any instructions in the box, but it has one wire and it has 3 bolts. So let's get into this. I'll show you how I'm going to hook mine up and then we'll see how it works. So first of all, on the jack itself, we've got 2 buttons here on the front. One to raise and lower the jack and then one to turn on this light on the front. Also, it has this opening here on the top that it comes with a tool that for whatever reason, if your jack fails, or say your trailer battery goes dead, then you can hand crank the jack and still be able to lift it off your truck or onto your vehicle, even if you have a dead battery or something does happen to the jack. Now this particular one is a 3,500 pound capacity A-frame style jack. This one is made in China. It seems like just about everything is nowadays with that, especially if it has electronics in it. The jack itself is pretty simple. This one is the A-frame, so it has the 3 holes, and you can see that our jack that is on our trailer now has the same style of hookup on it. And as far as the electric goes, it only has 1 wire coming off the jack, and it is a fused wire. Whenever you bolt this to the trailer, it's going to ground it, and then your power wire itself, you will just run that to the battery. And in our case, we have a battery already mounted on our trailer because we have lights on the inside of the trailer and fans for the horses. So we already have a power source outside of the truck itself that this trailer can power the jack on its own without having to have a vehicle even hooked to it. So if your trailer does not already have a power source or a battery on it, then I'm sure you can wire up a plug to hook it into your truck. So first thing we're going to do is take the old jack off. I have got the trailer up in the air. I lifted it up with my tractor. So I'm going to take the 3 bolts loose and the old jack will pretty much just come right out of there. Now on the bottom side, you got to pull the foot off. If you don't pull the plate off the bottom, then your jack won't be able to come out of here. This particular jack, you can raise and lower and pin it in place to make it quicker so you don't have to crank the handle so much. But you still have the mounting plate you have to take off separate from the tube on the jack. Now I'm using a wrench on part of this because these bolts are actually really close to the jack mount and you can't get a socket on them. And just like that, the old jack is off. Now we're going to do the same thing here on the new one. I'm going to pull the pin here, pull the plate out. Now the jack will fit down through the hole. So the only issues that I think I might have with this jack is where this motor and stuff here is mounted on the front. It might interfere with dropping the tailgate down on the truck. If it does pose a problem with the tailgate, then, you know, this is just something that we'll just have to work on. They do make extended hitches. So if it does pose a problem, we could possibly get a little bit longer hitch for the truck, and then that way it would allow us to be far enough back to miss this if it does cause a problem. Now there is a lot more room between these bolts and the jack on this particular one, because where this doesn't have that extra fat tube for that slider, it allows you much more room around the jack, so your bolts and your ratchet will fit right in here. Okay, so our jack is now mounted on here, sturdy, and the next thing I'm going to go ahead and put the plate back on the bottom. So I'm going to pull the cover off our battery box. We'll see if this gets us power. And it does. You can see our light is on right now. So what I'm going to do on this is just get me a ring terminal connector and connect it on this battery the same as the one that is here. I'm not even going to cut this wire off. I'll just put the excess down in the battery box. That way if I need to work on it, repair it, anything like that later on, then I'll have some extra wire and it'll all be protected down inside this box. This is what I'm going to put on it for now. So I've got a pair of crimpers that will crimp this down right where it needs to be at. And whenever this gets tight enough, they'll actually just automatically release. And then that way your ring connection is on there real nice and tight. I'm going to put this wire down in the box first. I'll hook our other one back up that powers our trailer. Now I'd like to have a washer on here, but I'll probably put one on here a little bit later. So that's all there is to wiring this thing up. It only takes one positive 12-volt connection in order to have power to your jack. Yeah, so we've got these ports right here on this battery box. This allows the wires to come out without them pinching on the lid of the box or anything. So we will just put our strap back on to hold the lid on. So one thing too, you're not going to break any speed records with these electric jacks, which is also why that this particular one comes with this drop leg. So this drop leg makes it a lot faster to get the jack closer to the ground. As you can see, that thing is not crazy fast. I have this jack pretty far up. I've got it really high, lifted with the tractor right now. And it's actually lifted high enough that the tire of the trailer is off the ground. So that's kind of, I didn't want to lower it down It's kind of wanted to do this test of how high it was actually going to lift, because I did buy a little bit shorter jack in order to hopefully compensate for the height of the jack and the tailgate that I was talking about. But there may be other solutions to this if we do have interference with that. But I wanted to see if it would lift this up off the tractor at this high of a height. So let's keep on going. It's starting to lift the weight right now, and we'll see if it'll go high enough to actually pull it up off the tractor. I'm going to take it all the way to its maximum height. That is still not its maximum height, but I'm going to stop there because the trailer's getting a pretty steep pitch on it. And again, the tire is actually a few inches off the ground right there. That is way higher than we will ever need it. And so this will be plenties of lift for our truck and trailer. I'm going to lower the tractor hitch down. I'm going to go ahead and lower this jack. So that took it down really close to the ground, and it still has a ways to go. But yeah, this thing has tons of motion, plenties for us. Tamara's truck, her 2024 GMC Sierra 1500, is not any higher than that right there. It's definitely shorter, that's probably about the towing height right there. But you can see the trailer is pretty much leveled out now, and the jack still has a good ways to go to pull up in there, plus the drop leg on it. Now where you really see the difference is when you watch this lift the weight up and how quickly it moves it just that distance and without any hand cranking. So it's picking it up. And there we have it. We're clear of her ball. So to go back down onto it, just push the other way. And again, you can see the actual speed of it there. When you're traveling, only lifting it on and off the truck, it really doesn't take that much time. And now the leg of the jack's off the ground. So one thing that may be really important though is remembering, if you've got an external hookup to your trailer or to a battery like this, making sure that you turn the light off, because you definitely could run your battery dead. It's not like if you have it hooked into your truck that if you turn the key switch off, then you don't have any power back here. So always make sure to turn that off. But this is going to be great. I got this mainly thinking of my wife, because she always pulls the horse trailer, not me. And you know how much easier that would be for her just to come out here and be able to push that button and raise and lower her trailer to be able to hook it up. Just one more step to making her pastime more enjoyable, and you know, not getting that sore arm from cranking the trailer up and down. But this thing seems to be working great. I will leave all the information down below for this, along with some of the tools and stuff that I used. Maybe help you, help you to find the items. Anyways, I don't care whether you buy it from my Amazon link or not. This is just what I decided to purchase, but I'll leave that information below just in case you come to the same conclusion that I did, which was that I think that this will be a decent jack. And this one is a 3,500 pound jack, but I think if you need a little heavier duty, when they do a 5,000 also, in the same brand and same specs pretty much. My wife's going to be so happy when she gets home from work today and sees that her jack is installed and ready to go. And also, I do want to mention too, how easy this is to install. So I mean, it was just putting a fitting on that wire and putting it on the battery post and tightening a nut down. It's one wire, that's the positive wire. It grounds to your trailer because it's bolted to the frame of your trailer pretty much. So this is probably about the easiest installation you could get for a cool accessory for your trailer. But thanks for checking out the video today. I really appreciate it. If you got something out of it, I appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button. And until next time, I'll see you outdoors.